Would you rather be loved by all or feared by all? Travel forwards in time or back in time? Ultimate ultimatums and diabolical dilemmas await inside the Dilemma Academy. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Dilemma Academy and our first episode of 2020. We're your hosts, CJ, Jess, and Demi, and to celebrate our 10th episode, we're doing things a little differently. Instead of would you rather questions, we'll be deciding whether we would push the button. But let's start with how everyone's been over the holiday break. Guys, how you been?
Happy 2020. 2020 Perfect Vision.
Is that going to be a thing?
It's the name of my Spotify 2020 playlist.
It's a solid name.
It is. I make a playlist every year, and this year's 2020 Perfect Vision.
Good. I like it. I like the name. Yeah, I like to give my playlists funny names as well, but I can't remember what they are. No, Jess has got we've started putting together like a music for Labour.
Oh,
and there's
okay.
like two different ones. Hope you're okay with me sharing this info, Jess. But there's
Sure, of course.
There's like a calming playlist, and then there's like a let's go get
Like
it
a
playlist.
Fucking
playlist.
get this.
Yeah.
I haven't
Football playlist.
I haven't thought of like a name for the calming playlist yet, but the name of the pump up one I called Baby Boomers, which I thought was pretty clever. So.
It is until Jessica's screaming at you because you're laughing at it.
Oh, you want me to put Baby Boomers on?
Yeah.
Are you right?
You're right, Jess. Just laughing.
I don't know what to say to that because I'm just like, how do I talk about a Labour playlist?
You were just like, yeah. And then just burst into hysterical laughter.
Because I've got really crazy songs in there, that's why. It's like,
Eye of the Tiger. Is that on there?
oh no, but I will add that on though.
You need to add that.
No,
Yeah.
it's things like there's like Kendrick on there and
What about that
Kanye
song
West.
that's like, push it, that song?
Yeah,
Gotta
I'm
have that
definitely
on
putting
there.
up.
Push it real good.
What is the name of that song? Is it just
Push It. It's called Push
Is
It.
it just?
Yeah.
Fuck, they could have thought of a better name.
But yeah, that's like the funny playlist. to
That's
try
early.
and
That's early
distract.
on. That's like you're just reaching the hospital.
Yeah.
Let's get this party started and
Yeah.
start dancing to
It's
get
like-
the
Bring
baby
up
out.
those endorphins and,
Yeah.
you know, like
Dancing is supposed to help.
Gravity.
As we have watched on, what was that show? That we-
One born every minute.
Yeah.
Jess, why are you watching the movie Gravity with Sandra Bullock? Because they said it helps Labour.
Thank you, Sandra Bullock.
Demi went on a trip over the Christmas break. Do you want to tell us a
Yes.
little bit about
I went
Aussie time in Bali?
Aussie time in
The
Bali.
most bogan holiday one can come on.
Yes. I personally would not go back to Bali.
Okay.
I have enjoyed other countries a lot more.
Okay.
Overall, I got to experience a new country. It's always good to like get outside of Australia and
Yep.
understand different aspects of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe another country would have been better.
So what was the best part of Bali then?
The best part was probably Ubud.
Yep.
So we hired a driver for the day.
And his name was Ubud?
His name was Ari.
Ari. Mm-hmm. Nice name.
And he came and picked us up from our villa and he took us into Ubud and we just kind of gave him like an itinerary and he took us around to wherever we wanted to go. So basically went on our own tour.
Cool.
But he like taught us things, like was just talking about Bali while he was driving. So it was kind of like instead of hiring a tour, like going on a tour,
Yeah,
we just hired a guide
Yeah.
and he took us on a tour. And then he dropped us to our villa that we stayed in Ubud.
Cool.
And then we tipped him because he was very good and they don't get paid very much. And we
Nice.
paid 550,000 repair.
Yeah.
And he was saying, I don't think he knew like how much we were supposed to give him until like the end. And he's like, oh yeah, I only get 125,000. We were like, we're paying a lot more than that just to have you like drive us around. So then we ended up giving like 300,000 repair at the end
Nice. That's nice. Give him a bit of a tip.
because he had like 2 small children.
Cool. Did he have them on the scooter with him?
No, because we were in a car.
Oh, you're in a car. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
And he had
Imagine,
like,
just taking his kids around just to get the empathy vote. Like, and these are my children.
these are my poor children. No, he was just talking
Yeah.
about his wife, and he has like a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old or something, and we were like, sad that you're only getting like what is basically $12.50 for a whole day.
What was the most like Bali thing you saw while you were over there? Like, surely there was like something.
The most Bali thing that I saw when I was over there happened. I had just gotten out of the airplane. I wasn't even like on Balinese. I was still on international land, and it was the most Bali thing. And it was the man that was screaming in the airport.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like Bogan, like full Bogan
Yeah, full
screen?
Bogan. Already in a bintang.
Oh, okay. From
Like,
last time.
From last time. He was like getting off. I don't know if it was, I don't think it was my plane. I think it might have been a plane before, but I think there was some mix up with their luggage or something.
Yeah.
From what I was gathering. But then Dylan said he saw the same man outside also screaming. So I don't know if it was just he'd had a few too many bintangs on the plane
Yeah.
and was just being really like, not even, Australians don't even yell. We don't yell. We just punch.
And we talk loudly.
We
That's what
talk loudly.
Yeah.
But this man was like full screaming at his wife.
Oh.
Oh.
Like angrily screaming?
Yeah, like angrily screaming. And nothing she could do.
Yeah.
And she just looked like she just had the most deadpan look on her face. Like she wasn't even offended by what was going on.
Like it just happens all the time.
Yeah, like this is her regular life. And the man also looked very Bogan, like had kind of almost a mohawk, but not quite. It's like a bit too wide. Kind of like the whole top of your
Yeah.
head is kind of
Ah,
hairy.
The Mo Finch.
And then like the two bit lower bits are shaved. I'm like,
Yeah.
that is the most Bogan man. Like
Wow.
larger, smaller, blonde wife who was very bleach blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like all people we've walked past the street before.
Good old Australia. Nothing like the taste of home when you're overseas.
And out of curiosity, how was like the airport of Bali?
Small, and it was kind of like almost like a local. I wouldn't call
Like
it
a small
like-
country
Got
sort of
more
airport.
like a domestic airport or something? Or
yeah,
Yeah.
but not like a good domestic airport.
Oh, okay. Like a tiny domestic
Like
airport.
a tiny domestic airport.
Wow. Because I guess like you sort of hear all the stuff in the news about, people getting in trouble because they brought over a prescription medication, which is, not allowed in Bali. So
No
I'm
one
sort
checked
of thinking, oh, no one
my
checked.
bags,
Oh, wow.
We had to fill in a little
Immigration card.
yeah, and then they look at it. They sometimes randomly choose people to like go through this other lane, but I just walk straight out.
Oh,
Cool.
wow.
Well, we were here in Australia and it's been pretty smoky,
Yeah,
Fires
the
have been pretty bad,
bushfires
so-
have
So
been
fucking
unfortunately.
horrific.
Yeah, I think we've been speaking. I think it's been a few episodes now that they've been ongoing for, and that's even with like the holiday break and stuff like that. I think, been.
Well, yeah, I think the bushfires in Australia have been going on for over 2 months, but it's only just in the last week or so received international like media attention, I suppose.
yeah.
That's
all
what
of
it
our-
takes. 2
all-
months for a whole country to be on fire and
fire.
before the international media takes notice. Like,
Yeah. I think it's the ScoMo, if we can just get political for a minute.
Yeah,
The ScoMo fuck up really accelerated.
I think so. There were a lot of
Yeah.
don't underestimate how quickly a news can spread via memes either, because they were like, as soon as there's like memes about something, that gets spread so quickly, and then people are like looking up what the meme means, and then they
Yeah.
read the news.
Yeah.
So
And
Yeah, I mean, I found it really interesting that a lot of international, like really high profile celebrities were even saying stuff about our prime minister. I'm like, whoa, what's happening? Like, this has
Yeah.
actually gone to a global scale now where our prime minister is just being bashed all over.
like even
you know,
people
the
on
world.
my like a American podcast that I listen to, like they did like a little episode. It's like a mini episode, and they were even talking about it on there, and they don't
Yeah.
even talk about anything like this.
I think he's being made an example of, and I get rightly so. I think because leadership has been quite poor, in this time of crisis, and that's putting it nicely. I think, and I think it's easy to look at someone like that who's in that sort of leadership role, liken him to others around the world as well, who are similar, in nature and in sort of agenda and all that sort of stuff, and then use this, I suppose, as a pedestal to be, well, obviously like angry at the guy, but also use that to, I don't know, talk about and have a conversation about all the other things that go along with that in regards to action on climate change and political priorities and where that should be in regards to all that sort of stuff as well. Like,
Yeah, and I guess it's kind of unique from like in Australia in terms of natural disasters. We don't get, in Australia we're quite lucky in the sense that we don't get threatened by major earthquakes or really tsunamis or hurricanes or anything like that. But our natural disaster, our main two are droughts and bushfires. So when, you get a bushfire like this and it's been happening for 2 months and literally the entire country is on fire, it is our worst natural disaster that we can face. And in times of crisis, you do need your leader to to really step up and do a lot more things. And
Yeah, I mean, especially when you combine that with the drought that we've been having as well.
Definitely.
Like, you know, you combine we have bushfire seasons, and bushfires are part of, you know, the Australian ecosystem. Like, it's
Yeah.
we should be having them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's part of it. But I think that when you combine it with how long the drought's been going on for, because it's pretty, I don't know if it's the worst we've ever had, but it's very bad.
It's just
it's definitely the worst we've ever
definitely the worst we've ever had.
It's
yeah.
also a combination of just really bad conditions all at the same time.
Yeah.
And yeah,
It's fucked up. And we've never had bushfires at a national level.
yeah, never.
Sure, like maybe each state has had one,
yeah.
maybe one bad fire in each state during the worst peaks of summer,
Yeah.
but never to this extreme.
No.
Yeah.
Where each state is experiencing significant loss of like property, houses, and lives.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really kind of crazy.
Not to mention like all of the wildlife that are burning because they have no way out because we've put fauna fencing on every major highway. And
Yeah.
as soon as it jumps a highway, what are they?
Yeah.
They can't do anything. They can't get out. And because I was in Bali when the Malakuta, which is the worst. Anybody from overseas, if you've seen photos of people on the beach, that was Malakuta, and it's probably the most publicized photo
Yeah.
that is out there at the moment. And as someone who can't swim, I know I'm an Australian who can't swim. It's very unusual. But I was fucking terrified. I nearly cried like over breakfast reading that because I cannot imagine how fucking afraid you must be to
Yeah.
be told you have no way to get out. You have to go to the beach. And if you hear sirens, you got to get into the water and swim.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had your cats or your dogs.
Yeah.
There was a person with a fucking horse on the beach.
Yeah, I
What if you
know.
had? What if you were a single mother and you had 3 small children? You
Yeah.
can't hold all of those. Like you can't hold 3 small children
Yeah.
No.
and then swim out like into the middle of a bay.
Yeah.
You can't. It's not possible.
No.
Yeah.
So you have to stay on the beach and risk dying.
It's a very strange situation, and I think it's affected a lot of people that live in the bushfire zones in many different ways. So, you know, obviously people have had their homes burnt down. People have been lucky enough to not have their homes burnt down, but then, you know, you've got the situation where entire towns and have been closed down, so they can't go to work and they can't earn an income. So the food that they have in their fridge is all that they have. And then the power cuts out, so your food goes bad. And then the power comes back on and everyone rushes and has to wait hours in line at the supermarket trying to get, you know, food. And that's what everyone's doing. So the food supplies were on really low, but the highways are closed. You manage to get some food, you come back, you put it back in your fridge because, you know, the power's turned back on, and then the next day the power turns back off again because it's another really bad day of bushfires and the lines are down and you lose all your food again and you have no money. So I think that's a very real scenario that I've read and heard about happening in these towns, and that's why it's really important to donate at the moment, and pick where you're donating very carefully, so to make you make sure that your money gets to, you know, the people that actually need it.
Yeah.
Because people do need, you know, grocery store gift cards and things like that, because they literally have no means of an income at the moment because they can't work, and they need food.
And yeah, people have requested monetary donations, which can make more of a effect than what is it called, non-perishable foods. and
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff
gift pack
like that.
stuff like that sort of thing.
Like money, I think, helps more in these situations where people, you know,
Yeah.
if you can't afford money, there are other ways to help. You can go and donate blood. You can go and volunteer at like
Yeah.
your local RFS, or you can share it on social media, share accurate information on social media, or attend a protest. There's lots of ways to help if you do not have money, because a lot of people out there can't afford to help, but they have requested money instead. So if you guys would like to donate, I did put a post on our Instagram,
Yeah.
so you can go there and find out how to donate. There's a little link in our bio at the moment. And I'll probably keep it there for a little while and just share the episodes via the
Yep.
stories until we're a bit more clear of this fucking horrendous fire.
Yeah. Time to unite and, you know, stay positive. It's the Australian way. Hopefully it, you know.
The
all
Navy
the-
delivered beer today.
What's that? The Navy delivered beer.
The Navy delivered like
That's hilarious.
cases of beer to Malakuta today
Nice.
to like recent.
Such an Australian
I
thing.
know.
Like, do you guys need water? Nah, just bring some
give me
beers,
some
mate. Just make sure it's a good brand. None of that
I
Great
forget what
Northern
it was.
shit.
I think it was they did deliver some Great Northern
Oh,
and
did they?
VB. I think.
Some people, I'm not a fan of Great Northern. I think it's like one of those beers that you either
You love
really
it.
like it or you really don't like it. I personally don't like
don't
it.
like
I don't
it
mean to
either.
offend anyone, but it's like, to me, it tastes kind of like piss water.
I like VB though. I can drink heaps
don't
of
like-
VB.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah,
Gross.
VB, I don't know, man. VB is like on the midline for me. It's like I can drink it.
I think
won't
it's easy
refuse
to
it,
drink.
but
That's fine.
it's not certainly not my favorite beer.
No, it's not my favorite.
Yeah, I'm a Heineken man. Just
You're hiding.
for those curious, yeah, that would be my
From
favorite
the Netherlands.
bottled beer. I think, yeah.
I'll
So-
take a cider or a ginger beer.
cider or ginger beer. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Well, we've had a good chat. Sort of caught up a little bit of what we've been doing in the holidays. Not much, really. Well, an international trip for Demi, but I guess for us it's not much because we've been trapped indoors by, smoke
Oh,
and
yeah, exactly.
heat and all that sort of stuff. So there's not really much you
Yes.
can do. But that's our catch up, I suppose. So maybe we should get into today's. Well, they're not dilemmas today.
No.
No, they're
kinda
well, I
they
guess
are.
it's still a dilemma that we have to solve, but it's a little bit different. So I guess just to give a rough explanation, normally we would do like a would you rather question, so you having to pick between one or the other. Today we'll be doing a style of question which is would you push the button. I think it's probably a little bit more of a well-known theme that people might be aware of potentially. So the idea is that it's would you push the button if it did this, right? So would you push the button? And normally there's two things that happen, one that's kind of good and one that's kind of bad. So we've all got our would you push the button questions ready to go. Who would like to go first?
CJ, do you want to go first?
Oh, you want me to go
take
first?
us
Do you want
away?
to take my ridiculous one can be up first? Okay. So, would you push the button if you gained the ability to teleport instantly wherever you wanted to, but upon arrival, you immediately evacuate your bowels and throw up?
So
So messy.
Yeah.
So when you say immediately upon arrival, like you have no time to run to the bathroom.
No.
It's like you just
like 1
you
second
turn up,
later.
you're already hurling. Like your body's prepared.
Yeah, pretty much. You zhunk to the place, for example, and then you've got like less than a second, and then it just happens, regardless of whatever clothes you're wearing, wherever you decide to teleport to, it just happens.
And how long does it happen for? Is it
consider
just
you are
one
really
episode?
sick, right? And
Yeah.
it's just one bout, I suppose. But like when you've got gastro, you go to the toilet and it's like you sit there for a while because
Yeah.
or you're throwing up and you're dry heaving even if there's nothing left in there. So it's quite a bad, if your body's like emergency evacuating your bowels and throwing up, it's not pleasant and it's not normally short.
No, but okay, so I suppose what I'm asking is it over in 1 minute? Or
Yeah, I'd say
are you
that.
sick for a few hours?
Nah, not a few hours. So it's like at one
Just
instance
like
of
a,
it. Yeah,
a good old hurl.
yeah. You empty
One hurl,
you empty your
one-
gut, or it's a big dry heave if you've got nothing in there, and you evacuate all of your bowels at that point.
All of my you have
You'd be
multiple
very
bowels.
regular.
Yeah, and if you don't have anything in there, then you still have that sort of sensation of feeling like you really need to sort of just stop, and it's like,
Now
all right.
you could get out of this with not get out of it, but you could manage it. I think very well.
Yeah,
Yeah, like if you knew, because you said you can teleport to anywhere
yeah,
that you know. So I could just teleport to a place where nobody is.
that's true.
Already have my pants down.
Yeah.
Already
Yeah.
prepared for my vomit.
Yeah,
You could prepare.
Yeah,
You could
You just prepare yourself.
Yeah. You
Hmm.
could teleport with, your little vomit bag, in front of your
I
mouth
wasn't even
already.
thinking of bringing
Yeah.
it back.
Your pants.
yeah. Timmy just wanted to go into a forest somewhere.
I'm just going and then I'll just walk away.
Yeah.
Got toilet paper stuffed somewhere in my bra or in my fucking pockets or some shit.
Because I'm thinking, where would I mostly teleport to, right? I'd probably teleport to work. So I would.
You'd use it that frequently.
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
I was
Wow,
thinking
I was
I'm
thinking-
teleporting overseas or something.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Not
what I was thinking, save
every
it for a
day.
rare
Every
international
day.
trip or something like that.
Oh.
Jesus, Jessica. You
Well,
ready
it
to
makes
throw
you
up
very
every day?
regular. Yeah.
But okay,
I don't
all
know.
right, every day, far out.
If I want to
Makes you
teleport to
regular.
work,
Jessica's finding the positives in the negative.
God.
if I wanted to teleport to work, I just teleport directly into the bathroom. My pants would already be down.
But so you're teleporting to be directly sitting down on the bathroom,
Yeah.
the toilet?
Yeah, but you don't know
I'd
that
have to
no one's going to be in there.
Imagine if somebody was.
Imagine how awkward it would be if you teleported in there and someone you
just shat on
knew, your
somebody.
workmate, was already sitting in there and you just
That would
shat
be awkward.
diarrhea all over them and then threw up on the floor. That would be the most awkward thing ever.
Can you fucking imagine?
And then try to
How
explain it.
then it's revealed that you can teleport.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. This just happens when I teleport.
They're like, what? They've got to figure out 2 new pieces of information that you just shat all over them and that you can teleport.
Yeah.
I was not thinking of using it that often. If it was like you had to teleport, like if the push the button was you had to teleport everywhere every day and you had to shit your pants.
Oh, no, I'm not touching that button then.
No way would I touch that button.
Yeah. Jess wants to use it every day,
Jess is
to
like,
and from work, twice a day,
Time to shit.
to keep her regular. Wow.
Just like, I'm feeling a little constipated. Better
Yeah.
teleport.
Just teleport like 5 meters to the bathroom. Just remember, you throw up as well. Like, that's not particularly pleasant. Would you really use that every day if you had to throw up twice in a day?
I feel like it'd become the new normal.
But would you? You could get really bad like health effects.
Yeah,
from
you
it.
can actually. You get really bad teeth.
You'd have to like be brushing your teeth so frequently. Yeah, I don't know, man. You couldn't do it that often, I don't think.
No,
No way.
no.
You'd,
So
you'd
not
have
for
to
it.
save. I think you would, if you did push the button, you'd have to save it for like rare long distance trips, like international trips and all that sort of stuff, right?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You could probably do. I could probably do like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Once every week?
Yeah. No, I think that's getting a bit too.
Is
like-
it though? Because it's once every week.
Is it? I don't know. I guess.
People out there that have lactose intolerance or severe food allergies, they shit their pants more than once a week, and they're pretty okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the thing is though, like if you were to still have a normal life and normal work and everything, you would go, oh, I'm going to go over to Europe for the weekend. That's twice in a week because you'd have to use it to get there and then you'd have to use it to get back as well. And you'd have to think about the collateral damage to any luggage that you had with you when you teleported.
Can you bring things with you in this?
Yeah, of course.
circumstance?
You can bring whatever you can hold on to, I suppose.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I can hold on to like a
Any,
suitcase.
anything you're touching, you can transport with you. Kind of like, I don't know, what's that, like
People?
Harry Potter
People?
teleporting? You can like, yeah.
Can you take people with you?
I'm
Like
going
if
to
Jess
say,
was touching you,
I'm going to say yes, that you can take people with you, but if you
do
take
you
someone
vomit
else,
and poop?
everyone vomits
Ah,
and
okay.
poops. Okay, so anyone who undergoes the transportation
Adult
process,
diaper. There we go. I've just
Jessica.
solved it.
Oh,
I've
no.
just solved it.
Oh,
she
yuck.
solved it.
Can you imagine? Ew, gross. Shitting your pants like diarrhea in an adult diaper?
Yeah.
I'd rather shit on the floor.
Yes.
No, that's gross. Like, because I'm just thinking, where would
No, it's
you?
gross. Don't shit on the floor.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I'm not going to just go, no, I think it's fun to shit on the floor. That's not what I was saying, right? I said it would be my preferable option to, like, shitting in an adult diaper.
No way. Because then you would still be able to like teleport, to Europe in at least like.
What's your fucking adult diaper on?
Well, yeah, because no one would
Gosh,
know.
excuse me, Sid.
No, you travel with your pants down already, you get in a squat position, and it would just shoot out the back of you.
Like a fucking
And where would
bird.
you
Yeah.
if you wanted to transport to Paris? Where would you go so
to
that
the top of the fucking Eiffel Tower.
you get arrested?
live stream shitting off the Eiffel Tower?
Yeah. Yeah, but like if you use I mean, no disrespect to people who have to use adult diapers, but if you were using an adult diaper and you shat your pants that badly, it would just like, it would go all over your inside of your legs and like your front as well, and like
Yeah.
up your back a little bit too,
Are you
probably.
talking about poo explosions?
Aren't
Yeah,
adult diapers mainly for incontinence?
they are. I don't think they're designed for like explosive diarrhea.
Well, I'm
She
sure.
agrees.
that-
Daisy agrees.
She just shits on the floor.
She sits in a box.
She goes in a box.
on the floor.
I would create my own invention. That's what I would do.
Just
I'd
Jessica
have
sitting
like
there
my poopy pants.
sewing like a bunch of baby diapers together.
Definitely. I would create like a really like sort of almost vacuum sealed sort of adult diaper.
Vacuum sealed.
It would catch all of all of the
that
poop.
stuff, yeah.
No, I would rather pants down and go into like a back alley or like a park or something, and then just bring a
Yeah.
bunch of water with me and just hose it down like a dog. Just go into the bathroom.
What are you doing? Mind your own business.
Shut the fuck up. Get away from me.
Yeah, I mean,
Vomit directly.
whichever way you cut the cake, you still have to experience that as well. So you have to experience,
I would
Reach it,
experience
I think
it's
it's
worth the
over
experience.
over like a 27-hour flight and transit
Yeah,
to get to
100%.
London.
Yeah, I suppose.
If someone told me that you could, if I could shit diarrhea and vomit, and I don't have to get on a flight for 27
And
hours,
you go for
I'd
free.
be like, okay, excuse me a moment while I go and eat something that I'm allergic to.
Yeah.
I accept.
Fair enough. So I'm assuming you guys would push the button.
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
definitely.
100%. Yeah. I think we're all on the same page. I think I would push the button as well. I think it's just too like I'd take it. I'd take the hit. I hate throwing up. I'm a really bad like vomiter in regards to like I make a lot of noise when I throw up, and it goes like into my nose as well quite frequently when I throw up. Like,
I don't think the listeners want to hear this.
I get
Yes,
yeah,
they
but
do.
no, okay, but you have to know the sacrifice I'm making when I push this button because like most of the time,
Now
it
tell
goes
us about your diarrhea
up,
experiences.
it goes up and like into my nose, and I've had to like snort
Oh,
out, vomit
no.
from my
Don't
nasal
say
cavity
this on the
before.
podcast.
It's just like and it's like 5 times louder than that. It's like real bad.
I
Like,
feel sorry
I
for
wouldn't
the
be able to go.
listeners.
Like, if I went into an alleyway and there were people walking past, they would think I'm dying. That's how loud it is.
100%
Like it's
will
not just a little. It's like a fucking,
Not a
like
dainty
really loud, like. Yeah.
I don't think people.
Fuck, can we have a trigger warning on this?
Yeah, we need
sorry.
to have a warning before this section because this is too much.
Anyway.
Normally we're quite intelligent people, but this 10th episode, boy, you're really seeing another side of us.
The first episode of 2020, and CJ has made the sounds of his vomiting.
Yeah.
Into the microphone.
I'll save the diarrhea sounds for episode 20.
I remember when CJ and I went to South Africa a few years ago and we did a big safari tour, which I recommend everyone does at some point in their lives. It's amazing. And a bout of gastro did go around the tour group, which was quite unfortunate. And we both got it. And the tour guide the next morning said to CJ, wow, you really roar like a lion when you vomit.
Yeah, that was bad. I feel you know what? That tour guide, it was actually his first time as a tour guide, like
Oh,
as the
wow.
guide, as like the main guide. Before
Wow.
that, he'd just been like a chef, and it was his
No,
first.
he wasn't the chef. He was like,
No, that's what he was. He used to be the chef, and this was his first. That was his first time.
oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and this was his first time being the actual leader of the troop.
Wow.
And we all had gastro, and he was like, he spent the whole night like mopping up vomit off the floor
Oh,
of the
no.
of everyone cleaning up
Poor
people's
guy.
tents that they'd thrown up in, and like he
Yeah.
got no sleep. He looked
It was bad.
awful the next morning, like
Poor guy.
real bad. So like it's the last place you want gastro to hit when you're like out in the wilderness, like camping and
The baboons, they're coming.
yeah, they're coming for the. Why do they want the vomit? Yeah,
They're
that was
baboons.
pretty bad. So.
When was the last time you vomited? Was that probably South Africa was the last time you vomited?
No, I think the last time I properly vomited, and this is another funny story that I have to do. We went to a Brazilian barbecue place near where we
gosh.
live. And I it was really yummy, and you kind of just like wolf down the food. And someone must have said a really funny joke as I was like about to swallow a piece of food, and I kind of went, the food went down my windpipe, but it wasn't a large enough piece to like cause me to choke. It just kind of was sitting in there, like real, and feel like I could feel that. It kind of felt really weird, like I hadn't swallowed something, and like there was something kind of in my airway, but I was like, I can still breathe fine. It's just like, it was kind of making me go like that. And anyway, it got to a point where I was like, this is really uncomfortable, and I'd like Googled like small piece of food stuck in airway, is this an issue or will it kind of sort itself out? And all of the responses online were, it can and probably will get infected and it can cause real issues. You should go to the hospital if this happens to you. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom now and just try and get this out. So I went into the bathroom and kind of made myself like, I was like, ugh. Like I was sorry to do the noises again, but I can't know how else to explain it. I like was pushing it, trying to like I was bent all the way over and trying to push it out. And yeah, I just did a major. I threw up literally everything I'd just eaten. I threw up into the toilet, and I went back to the table. And by that time, like, my eyes were watering, and everyone was asking like, "What the hell's going on?" I had to say. And by that point, it was just the dessert part of the Brazilian barbecue, which was like just the cinnamon pineapple. And I ate so much cinnamon pineapple because I was hungry
But
again.
cinnamon pineapple is fucking delicious.
Yeah,
so-
it is really delicious. So it was a consolation prize. So
What I don't understand is that CJ's obviously, I'm sitting next to him. I'm like eating all this food. Everyone's having a great time. And he's silent next to me and doesn't even tell me what's going on until, he's sort of, away in the bathroom for like
Excuse
10
me-
minutes.
excuse
And I'm
me a
like,
moment.
what's going on? Has
Excuse
he
me one
died?
I just need to step out of the room for 1 second.
I need to go and throw up a lot. Everything in my body.
Yeah.
How do you just make yourself throw up?
Well,
Stick your fingers down your throat.
Did you?
no, I didn't even need to do that. No,
Really?
I think
Damn.
because there was something already in there, like I could feel it. All I had to do bend really sort of over forwards, and then kind of just exhale out while kind of like gurgling, like that noise that I've been doing. Just
That
doing
happens?
that,
You can do that as a person?
just doing
Jesus
that
Christ.
made me throw up.
It
Yeah.
looks-
So
Have you tried it? Ever tried it again?
I have not ever tried it again since.
Do
then.
it
I
now.
don't want to do
Do
that.
it.
No. But word of warning, I guess, if you ever get something stuck in your windpipe like that, that's not large enough to cause you to panic immediately and obviously be choking and not be able to breathe, definitely try to get that out as quickly as possible, even if it means throwing up, because apparently it can stay there for a long time, get infected, and it's
Wow.
it's really bad if you let it get to that point. So if you can't for whatever reason make yourself throw up, then
Got to go to the hospital.
go at least go to the doctor, and if you can, go to the hospital.
Wow.
Because they'll I don't know how they would get it out. I imagine it would be probably just as unpleasant as you making yourself throw up.
They probably
So,
will just, if throwing up works, they probably just give you Epicac.
make you throw up.
Induced vomiting.
Yeah, probably. So anyway,
Anyway,
fun little story. We'd all push the button on that one,
We all
so
pushed
we
the
would
button
have
on
to
that
deal with
one.
that quite
Love it.
regularly.
all right.
All right, who's up next?
I'm happy to go up next.
All right.
Okay.
Jess, you go.
Okay, so my question is, would you push the button if you could travel 100 years in the future, but you would be starting from scratch again? So you would have no money, no connections, no nothing.
Interesting. Okay.
That is, this is more like it's a more difficult one.
Yeah, this is definitely less pooping and vomiting in this one.
So that would be the year 2120.
21.
What would the world look like in 2120?
I mean, if you think back, 100 years in the past to 1920, the world is a very different place today.
Booping
Yeah.
around, bopping,
There's
get my fringe dress going.
I mean, cars are only really just getting common.
in the 1920s. you
In the
mean?
1920s, medicine has accelerated like crazy.
Cars are already just getting common now. Beep beep.
I don't know. I'm interested. I
No
think
TVs back in
I don't know.
I think the obvious cons for me are just having to leave your current life behind. You know what I mean? So like,
Do you get to tell anybody that you're going? Can you say goodbye to people? Or you
Yeah,
just go.
you can say goodbye to people.
Be like, fuck yo, I'm off. Then
I'm off to the
just
future.
Slap it in front
slam
of
that
them.
button.
I've called you all here because I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah. See, my issue with it is I think that if you went 100 years into the future and were really like sort of starting from scratch, but with our current skill sets, for example, I think we'd be able to make it by, start a new life, and be okay.
But like
But
you're starting
what
with
makes you think,
nothing.
Yeah, what makes you think that you can start a new life though? Like you'll probably be living on the street. Like what makes you think that in 100 years your current skill set would be useful and that your job wouldn't be replaced by automated machines?
True.
You would need to adapt.
You would definitely.
But I guess it's feeding into that, I guess, that curiosity. Like, do you have that desire to know how the world is in 100 years and be that time traveler?
I don't know.
Is it even useful time traveling into the future?
I don't know. I mean, there'd be a lot of medical advancements. There'd be a lot of technological advancements to consider. I mean, we kind of live, I suppose, in, Australia, which is kind of, has elements of socialism with like, our Medicare and all public transport, publicly owned and all
Australia
that
could
sort
be
of stuff.
completely different.
Yeah. I think though, I mean, if we lean, I mean, you never know what the next 100 years are going to be like. And if we sort of lean more towards like the Labor side of government, then I feel like we'll lean more into that sort of, socialism in regards to how the country operates. So in 100 years, if there are a lot of robots that have taken over jobs and stuff like that, we could have just a universal basic income, which
Yeah.
everybody gets.
That's true.
That's what I was thinking. Like
and-
maybe they have no record of you ever being a person and you're like, they think you're a robot or something.
Well, if you were to go 100 years into the future, I mean, you're assuming that no major world-ending or apocalyptic event has happened. They would still have your current records from now somewhere.
Would they?
They'd be, yeah. I mean, they can pull up records from,
Yeah,
30,
I mean,
40,
all of
50
our
years ago, if
records are
necessary. Like,
electronic now.
yeah, everything's electronic. So
Your old
everything would be
Facebook
backed up.
page.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is me from, and you would still look the same as now. So you could just go into like, I don't know.
I mean, you might be put into, a psychiatric ward.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was thinking. Like people, maybe they don't they think you're some weird fugitive or something. Like, and you created all this fake profile. Like,
maybe.
or maybe you're just a descendant that looks exactly like your grandfather 100 years ago. And
Well,
you know,
yeah, I mean, that's what you could do as well. You could find your family because they'd believe you. They would
Right.
have old photos of you.
okay,
And yeah,
here we go.
all right.
So in Futurama, when he time travels, I believe it's 100 years into the future, his bank account still exists and it has gained a fuck ton of interest and he ends up having millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
That like occurs in the first episode. So would we really be starting with nothing? So
Well-
my bank would still be there.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, maybe there's some
Well,
sort of
maybe-
digital credits thing gets implemented and then
Yeah.
I lost all my money. But would my money get transitioned into digital credits and then like I can just go to this credit system bank and just type my name in and
Or what if you're like, you know, do you call them ancestors if they're, I guess you do call them ancestors 100 years ago, inherited your estate and took out all your money.
yeah,
Maybe.
they thought you died and they've taken everything, and you know, you would have nothing then, I suppose.
I mean,
like I said, that's why
but
you would probably seek out your family.
I did say that you can say goodbye though. So if you give
Yeah,
them
so they-
if you give everyone strict instructions that you would not touch the bank account,
but then they were like,
Don't
she
spend my
doesn't
money.
know.
exactly.
Yeah, 100 years. You know,
Can you trust your family?
No. Can't trust
let's not go there. I don't know. I reckon you could, but who knows? I don't think you could rely on having that money.
Yeah.
You know,
it's just a thought.
but you
just
could,
a thought.
It could be there somehow.
But you could
could
make
access our money.
preparations. You could,
Like I
yeah.
could lock it into like a 10-year locked
Yeah.
interest account,
Yeah.
so that
And
in
hope
10 years'
everyone
time,
forgets.
yeah, just people are going to forget that the money's there. No one's going to be like counting down the days until they can access my money,
Yeah, you just
and then
make
it will
a-
just continue to sit there, gain
Yeah.
more interest.
Make a
and then
secret
bam,
account. Don't tell anyone about it. There you
True.
go. And then no one needs to know, I
There
suppose.
you go. I do not think your tap and go is going to exist in 100 years' time.
Yeah, it'll be tap and go like built into underneath our skin or something
Yeah.
like that. Or it'll be like
Or a retina scan, like
iris
you just,
detection. Yeah, you just
scan,
look at something. Yeah, that'd be
uh,
pretty
like-
cool.
It could be a completely different world. I mean, like part of me, you know, like it's kind of crazy that we're also, you know, in the year 2020, like, you know, it kind of makes me really, you know, we're in the 20s now, which is kind of cool. But what if we do have, I don't know, maybe like humans living on another planet or up on a satellite sort of station quite regularly, you know,
Yeah.
like that whole sci-fi future deal that a lot of, you know, movies and stuff used to like to do in the 90s for the year 2000. That might be the case for 2120.
I think prediction. I think we'll have a colony on Mars in the next 100 years.
100 years?
Yeah.
I think we will have a colony up in space somewhere.
I don't think it'll be on Mars.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't think 100 years is enough for us to set up
I bet
something
you-
on Mars.
I bet you $100 with 100 years interest.
Okay.
Elon wants to go there, man. He can do it.
Sure.
Have you seen the SpaceX stuff? That's crazy technology. If anyone can do it.
It's
I-
Elon.
I feel like we're about to
He's
embark.
having a baby now. He's got other things to
but
do
I
about.
feel like we're about to embark on Space Race
Space.
2. I feel like we're on the edge of that.
I think
I
100
feel-
years is too short.
There's a
Well, I mean,
I would
we,
take that 100 years,
Earth-
100 years interest, $100.
the world went from planes not existing
In
to landing on the
1920.
moon in less than 100 years.
Yes, but then how much more have we done past that?
Well, I mean, we've got spaceships now that can fly into outer space and then come back and land precisely on a target. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but people aren't on them.
No, but people
I guess it
could
hasn't
be
been
on them,
commercialized yet.
though.
I think 100 years is still too short.
Interesting. Well, I mean, it would be interesting to know what people think
I
in
think
the
there will be
comments.
like a Citadel type space station. that
That's
people
what I
live on.
think. Yeah. I don't know if anyone remembers the movie. I think it's called Xenon.
No.
Look, Google it. I think it's Xenon.
Xenon. That would be
Xenon. I don't know. But yeah, it's like, you
I'm
know,
going to Google it right now.
it's a geeky sort of early 2000s movie. I think it's Disney. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. But yeah, like there were like I think Xenon was the girl, and she was born in the space station. And yeah, an entire community was like living up in the space station, and you know there was like lots of spaceships that would travel from Earth to the space
Yeah.
station. and
It's like
stuff.
Wall-E.
Off, I found it. It's Zenon.
Oh, Zen.
Girl of the 21st century.
It's like Wall-E.
This is the most 90s teen movie movie poster I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Yeah.
I loved it.
I will take a screenshot of this now and I will post it. I have to remember to post this
Yeah.
on our.
But yeah, basically that movie is
Wow, that's not what I expected the poster to look like.
Yeah.
Look at them
When
in their
Jess was
pink
telling me the
spandex.
synopsis for that, I'm thinking something like Elysium, which is
Yeah.
like,
Or like
Well, basically, it is like
Battle Angel
Elysium.
Alinta or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it basically is Elysium, but in the 1990s and for teenagers.
and Teen Boppy, yeah.
Raven was in it.
Wow.
Yeah, Raven was in it. I loved it
Get
because
fucked.
I
There
loved
was
the
also
premise.
two sequels. It was called Xenon the Sequel
The sequel,
and
that's
Xenon
amazing.
Z3.
Z3.
But you never know, because if we go back to 1920, mobile phones didn't exist, the internet didn't exist, cars weren't really overly commercialized back then. You had to be incredibly rich to have a car. Planes didn't exist. If you wanted to travel to another country, it had to be by boat, and it took a very long time. Like indoor plumbing, electricity was really just taking off.
Yeah.
Most people were still living by candlelight. To have electrical lights in your home was the future.
Yeah, I think there could definitely be very significant changes in 100 years. I think the thing that's holding me back from smashing that button is like having to leave behind a very happy current life.
Yeah.
Am I curious to see what the world will be like in 100 years? Yes. Do I hope to live to see the world in 70 years' time from now? Yes. Will 70 years and 100 years difference be that much? Maybe not.
The
maybe
movie Xenon
What's
was
that?
set in 2049.
2049. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
29 years is not long enough to have a space station established.
No.
See what I think, and then hear me out on this one. I think there's more human benefit and adventure in a Mars colony than a Citadel-style space station.
I just don't think that we are going to successfully have a Mars colony.
Why?
I think that the conditions...
Mars flu. We all
Mars
die.
I just think that the conditions are too... Like, why do you want to live on Mars? That's what I don't get, and I'm probably going against public
Well, I
opinion
think-
or whatever at the moment. But why would you want to go and live on Mars if we have confirmed that we have the International Space Station, which is just living around our orbit, that has been achieved. If you do want to create space for people to go and live up somewhere, why not just do like a Citadel sort of thing, like what Demi said, and have people live there rather than trying to build a colony so far away on another planet in what are arid conditions anyway. So you'll just be living indoors all the time. It's not green and lush like
but
Earth anyway.
Neither of those things are particularly functional or practical, really. Like, you could argue the same about either. What's the point in a Citadel? But I think the reason that a colony on Mars is cool is because I think it's the next big human step in space exploration.
But that's kind of like what people said about reaching the moon. But
Yeah.
humans have never reached the moon ever since. It's just that, we did it. Okay.
Let's send the robots.
Yeah.
On your way.
That's it.
But I think it was an amazing achievement, like amazing
yeah.
scientific and
100%.
engineering feat.
100% an amazing achievement, but we didn't really then try and progress to have a colony up on the moon.
Yeah, because there's nothing there.
It's the same as Mars.
What's
I
on
think
Mars?
there's a bit more to explore on Mars than the moon, and I think it would just be purely, mostly at least, for the achievement of being able to do it, and just that next. It would just be. I think it would be another one of those moments where the world would stop and watch it happen, and you wouldn't get that with a Citadel in the sky. I don't think.
I think it would be amazing to have a Citadel in the sky because you could visit it for holidays, or if you really wanted to, you could live there or work there. It would just be another place to go, really. That's what it is.
Citadel in the sky? Just another place to go. Honey, where do you want to go on holidays this year? Citadel in the sky or Mars? Nah, they're just places to go.
But it's like going to Antarctica, though. It's like, very arid conditions, very extreme conditions, but it's so that people can say that they've been to the continent of Antarctica.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting
Anyway,
back to the question.
Anyway,
Back to
we're
the
running
question.
out of time, so
Yeah.
we should really each...
I would push the button.
you would.
Ooh.
See you later, Demi. I guess our friendship means nothing.
Yeah, I guess you want to
See you
leave
later,
us.
you.
motherfuckers. I'm out. Peace out, bitches. Just slam it.
Slam the button. No preparation. Okay, all right. Do explain? Like, is that you just more interested in seeing the future?
Oh, it's not like I have a child or am pregnant or anything. Actually, you could take the baby with you if you're
You could
pregnant.
take the
you'd
baby
you'd
with
get
me.
company, Jess. You're pushing
getting
the buttons a
you're
little
getting
bit different.
free. Someone's hitchhiking with you.
Yeah.
Or like have any super like responsibility.
Fair enough.
Demi, what's the sea change?
Yeah, that's right.
I could drop the dog off to my mum's house and the cat.
And then also say goodbye to your mum.
Nah, just be like, Mum, the dog needs to stay with you for an indefinite amount of time.
Wow. All right.
Be like,
Interesting.
Mum, I'm going 100 years into the future. And she'd be like, what? and I just leave.
Slam.
And then would be like 50 years old, CJ, and we'd be like, hey, remember Demi and how she just randomly disappeared in like January 2020?
No, I would call a party. This is what I would do.
Okay.
I would call a big party.
All right.
Anybody who didn't attend.
Under what guise?
I'd just be like, let's have a pool party.
Okay.
Let's have a barbecue.
All right.
Yeah.
So everyone's coming over just
People have
expecting
turned
a
up
good
to my
time.
house just because I've invited them over for a barbecue.
Yeah. Okay.
We have a barbecue.
Yeah.
We do actually have the barbecue.
We have the barbecue.
We
Okay.
have the barbecue. Before anybody gets a chance to leave, I stand up. Now I stand on the table.
Oh, okay. All right.
People
You'll
are
have people
automatically
asking questions.
paying attention.
Yeah.
They are paying attention.
Debbie never gets on the table.
I don't. It's weird. Don't put your feet on the table.
It's just like there are issues going on here.
That's right.
And I
Just step down from the table, Demi. It's okay. This is a safe place.
my eyes grow really wide. I called you all here for one reason. I pull out the button. And I say, peace out, bitches. And I slam the button and then I just disappear.
Wow.
Then you're all left at my house without me.
Yeah, with severe psychological trauma as well.
And I just wipe my laughter tears away when I am 21:20 and walk off into the sunset.
And then, when we're 50, CJ will just go back and think, hey, remember when we went to that weird barbecue that Demi made and she just like disappeared on the table? What
Just
was
zipped
that?
into nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I would push the button. As fantastic as Demi made it seem. I don't know. Unknown versus what I've got now.
If
I'm
I was
happy.
single, I probably would.
Yeah.
But no,
You
I'd
get to
be
bring
too
the baby
scared.
with you.
Yeah, but then it's like, what if they don't accept me? What if all the hospitals are privatized?
That's what you're worried about in 21:20.
Oh yeah, I don't have money.
I'm sure they're not just like, if you just go to a hospital, they're not just going to leave you just in the foyer.
If I don't show my insurance details on my credit card, they would.
And it's just a robot. You just get to there and it's just a robot man at the service desk. Please identify yourself. I'm like, what? I'm Jessica. Please enter your human pin.
Oh my god.
2 attempts remaining before destruction. Destruction. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I
So
don't
there we
think
go.
I could.
2 for no, 1 for slam the button on standing on top of the table.
Yep.
All right. So
All right.
I smash something before I do it.
Smash something.
I bring a glass with me.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm at it.
Just like if there's anyone that you've ever really just wanted to like punch in the face, you do that, then you slam that button.
I'm sure the people, the person that I would
No-
love to punch in the
No
face.
ramifications whatsoever. So
I bring like a champagne glass. Smash it. Slam the button. Peace out. Smash. Slam.
2 hours later, you're just like finding what other things you can smash before you push the button, and we're all just like wondering what the hell's going
I'm
on.
just like inspecting the silver, like the crystals.
Yeah.
The crystals.
Did she invite us
Champagne
over
glasses.
here just to smash things?
Just smashing everything.
Last question.
Last question. My question. Would you push the button if it let you see into the future, but every time you do, you lose a memory you cherish?
How far into the future? As far as we want?
As far as you want.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And is it the kind of seeing into the future that you can change if you see it? Or is it the kind of seeing into the future that is how it's going to be?
I imagine it would just be like a vision.
Okay, like okay, like one of those ethereal and then you
It's
kind
like
of
it's clear-ish.
clearish.
You get
Okay.
a good general view of what's like. It's like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
If you see it and now that you have knowledge of it, does it have the potential to change?
Of course.
Damn it.
Okay. Can you see
Oh, okay.
can you see a future beyond just your future?
No.
So it's sort of, so it's internal.
Well, like it's if you're interacting with another person, I guess you could see the other person's future as well. But it's you interacting with other things.
Can you choose like where in the future you're going to? So I would say I want to see where I'm at 2030.
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay.
But it's like you get a 10-second blink. You get a flash.
But you would lose a whole cherished memory.
Yes, but I wouldn't like a cherished memory. What's a memory? Like how long is a memory? What's a cherished?
What is a memory?
Like a cherished memory, like you getting a puppy,
Okay.
but then you still remember that you had the puppy. You just
don't
don't remember getting it.
the getting of. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's fairly ambiguous in its description because I'm just trying to think about like what constitutes a cherished memory. Like I'm thinking of when we picked up our dog. Is the whole driving out there, picking him out, picking him up for the first time, putting him in the car, driving back, he fell asleep in your lap, and then we went
I'd
and
say
bought
that
food.
full thing is a memory.
The whole thing is a cherished memory, or are like the individual parts of that their own little cherished memories? Like, remember how we had to pull him out from under the cage because he was the fat boy who was asleep and didn't want to be picked up?
I'd say there is an aspect of that day that you would cherish more than another, and you will forget that.
Okay.
Like maybe it's looking over and seeing him sleep in Jessica's lap. That's probably would say most cherished part because it's
Part of
very
that
cute
day.
and
Yeah.
very look at that.
Okay.
But now you forget that.
Okay.
You forget like the most cherished part of your wedding day.
And is that forgotten? Is this just trying to clarify? I'm just trying to think. Like, is that forgotten if you even look at a photo of it that you still have
you
no
don't-
memory
you don't
whatsoever?
remember
You
that.
can never remember it again.
You're like, it's a photo of you, obviously, but you're like, I don't remember that being taken.
Yeah. Okay. Like it doesn't. It's not. You can't like refresh your memory, so
No,
to speak, to
it's
like
gone.
remember it again. No, it's gone forever. Okay.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, being able to look into the future obviously has some significant potential benefits. If you're about to make a big decision or do something, big, action wise, or buy something, or, make a big decision in your life, to even be able to sort of look ahead a year or look ahead 6 months or 5 years or whatever, and to be able to see what impact that has on your life, even if you might only use it a few times in your entire existence, but it helps you make some really difficult decisions more easily because you know what it might lead to. That could be pretty beneficial. And you might lose a few cherished memories. I mean, I suppose the fear
What's
is...
a few cherished memories?
I mean, I suppose the fear is... the fear is that you have no control over which cherished memories go. So if it's random, you lose your most cherished memory that you have. Forget it completely, which would be pretty bad.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. And I guess the other thing as well is that you can get pretty addicted looking into your future.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like it could turn out to be like a drug.
Yeah.
And you just like, who gives a fuck about cherished memories? I'm like seeing all this
I
cool
want
shit.
to see what's happening. Because it's like, for example, you look into the future and someone, you might look into, 15 years into the future and someone that you love, has passed away and you're like, oh my God, but when? And then you might go, all right, I'm going to, instead of looking at, 2035, I'm going to look at 2034. 2033, 2032, and then suddenly you're losing all of your cherished memories.
I would say that you don't get to pick what cherished memory you lose. You just lose
it's
one
random.
miscellaneously.
Yeah.
So who knows what you would forget
That's
when you
right.
came back? You obviously don't know. You would have no idea what you've forgotten.
Yeah, until you realize it could be months, if not years later, when you're trying to remember a particular memory, and then you go,
Or you like look at a
"Actually, I
photo
can't
or
remember
watch a
it."
video of yourself or something and you're like,
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember that.
Yeah.
You could
Which-
lose who you are as a person entirely.
Yeah. You
Well,
could.
I feel like if you used it minimally enough, it would be beneficial. And like, as I find anyway, as I get older, I do tend to forget, the nuances of particular memories. And that's why I love photos and videos so much, because it helps you be able to relive that day. You may not remember it as if it occurred yesterday or a year ago, but you are still able to remember that day. So I do know that, the longer that we progress from our wedding, for example, CJ, I will continue to forget, certain moments of that day, but
Yeah.
that's why we have a wedding video, and photos that are beautiful.
Yeah. But I guess in this instance, those wouldn't even remind you of the memory, though.
Yeah.
But I guess it would
It's like 50 First Dates when he has to show the video every day.
yeah. But it's like, it would remind you of the day though.
No, it wouldn't remind you because you have no memory of it.
Yeah.
It would be like watching...
It's like watching a stranger.
Yeah, that's what it would be like in regards to this question. Like, you can't... That's what I tried to clarify earlier, is you can't refresh your memory, or you can't, like, have a reminder of something that you've
I still
forgotten.
feel like you would remember snippets because to me, memories are like little snippets of the day. But the more you see the future, the more those snippets would go away until, yeah, if you use it too often, you would actually forget that you even lived through that day.
Yeah, definitely. And the issue, I think, is being tempted to use the future sight too frequently that you just, forget who you are nearly, because your memories make you you. Everything you remember, everything that you've forgotten makes you who you are as a person. And you would get to a tipping point, I think, where you would just, your personality would change, who you are as a person would change if you forgot enough things. Because eventually, I mean, this is talking about you would have to use your future sight a lot, but you would get to the point where you don't have any cherished memories left and you're just forgetting memories. You just start forgetting stuff that you don't even, consider a memory, but it is. And it makes you who you are, or it's a crucial piece of information that you need that you don't even realize you need until it's gone. And then suddenly, I don't know, you're some crazy person in, a mental institution who can see into the future but has no idea who they are or where they've been or what they're doing. So there's risks.
When the question was first asked, I was like, yeah, I'll definitely press the button because I feel like it would be very useful to be able to see a few snippets into the future. But I feel like I wouldn't be able to control myself in terms of how often I would use it. And I think that it would become like an addiction for me.
Yeah. It'd be one of those things where it's like you do it once and you don't really care because you can't remember exactly the cherished memory that you've forgotten anyway. And then you do it again and you do it again. And then you do it one time and then suddenly you've probably forgotten something fairly major. And then it's like, oh no, I've got regrets now, but I've forgotten it anyway. So I may as well keep going.
Yes.
And then,
How can you regret something that you forget?
yeah, exactly. So it's like you would, I think it's could be quite a slippery slope. I think you'd have to have a lot of self-control to make it not a slippery slope. See, I'm still tempted to push it and just use it for really major decisions.
I just feel like when you're risking a lot when you try and look into the future, and it may raise more questions and answer questions.
Potentially. It could also create more new cherished memories than what you would lose by looking ahead if you were able to avoid a tragedy.
Well, I don't know whether you would be given enough information in this little flash.
Yeah.
Someone's dead.
Back
into your body.
I mean, I suppose in that instance, you could at the very least go and talk to the person, given your knowledge of how far ahead you would have looked. Say you look a year in the future and someone's gone that you know now. You could go to them and say, hey, look, I know it sounds crazy, but I just...
Listen to me.
I just looked...
You grab them by their shoulders and you shake them.
Yeah, I have this power. I've just looked 1 year in the future, and 1 year in the future, you're dead.
But why would you tell that person though?
Go and
100% you tell that person so they go to a fucking doctor or something.
Yeah, it's like
Maybe
go
they
to
have
the
a
doctor,
cancer
get full body check, go to all the specialists, just do whatever. I mean, you might die from an accident. Be super careful when you drive. Maybe
But it
stop
just
driving.
means,
you could
you're also
potentially save their life.
you're potentially saving their life if you had a little bit of information, like if somehow you saw that they were dying in a hospital and it was like the treatment hadn't worked or something, then it's something medical. But if you just know that this person has passed away and you don't know if they did just die in a freak accident or were ill, I feel like you could be setting up that person for a very anxious at least a year, if not more, because if they do manage to survive the year, you don't know if that, what is it? It's like the world has to correct itself. So if you avoided death, in that 1 year, the next chance.
Final Destination, the movie.
Yeah, but I don't know. You don't know the way the universe works, so.
I think I'm tempted to push the button because I believe I have enough self-control to use it sparingly.
I would absolutely love to push the button because I feel like it might quell some of my anxieties, especially when I'm trying to make a massive life decision. But I feel like it would affect me more negatively than positively, so I would have to not push the button.
Yeah, I think I would push the button because I think that the potential benefit to your life of being able to look ahead in time and especially when it comes to those major decisions and be able to sort of see potential outcomes from that, I think that could really, change your life for the better.
But what do you consider a major decision? It's like if you're thinking about starting a business and you want to know if it's successful or not, Is that a major decision or not?
Yes, I would consider that a major decision.
But what if you have a business idea every few months? And
I'd
you
even
go,
say like buying a new car. Is this the right one? Yeah.
I don't know if I would use it on
buying.
buying a new car. Maybe
would.
like buying a house, for example. You would use it on that just to see whether, what impact that has on your life. Like
but
car,
every decision.
like what's the worst that could happen with a car? Is it like,
know,
it's
you
not
get
particularly reliable or something like
Well,
that?
yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
Every decision that you make always comes with its pros and cons, always. So, you could buy a house and it might be mostly okay, except for the fact that, I don't know, the taps keep leaking and the plumbing's really bad and you have to spend, $20,000 to fix up all the plumbing in the house. It's like, would that prevent you from buying it if everything else in the house was great? Or, you always find an issue.
I suppose, but I guess it's being informed. I think it would be more general picture stuff anyway, because if it's more of like a vision, you're not going to be able to tell in that vision, I had to spend $20,000 on renovations, for example. You'd just see a quick glimpse and be like, yeah, we're happy in this house. Everyone seems to be okay. And, that's good. Then that's probably a good decision. But I don't know, if you go forward 4 years in time and you're not in that house and, I don't know, you're separated from your partner and someone's died. Like, you know what I mean? Like, then you can kind of go, maybe we shouldn't do this. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think that as long as you can control how often and frequently you use it, then it would be okay, I think.
I'm going to slap that button. Slap
I'm not going to slap it, but I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it off to the side just in case. Well, no, that's not how it works, is it? You have to push the button and then you
do
gain
have
the
to push
ability.
the
Yeah,
button,
yeah.
I'm just going to play a little bit of devil's advocate here. But if you push the button, you don't have to use the power. You could just
No.
live a normal life anyway. But I guess it's just that temptation, though, really,
You
isn't
push
it?
the
You-
button and it means that you
Yeah,
use
you-
it.
you
Use
know
it
that you
first
could use
time.
Yeah, you know you're going to use it. You're going
You
to
use it.
you're gonna fucking use
The
it.
minute you
like-
buy like something big or
Kid
start
yourselves,
something
yeah.
new, you push it. You do it.
You know what? I'm going to change my answer because I'm just thinking more and more. Okay, all right. You know what? I'm allowed to change my answer because
You hadn't set it in stone yet.
yeah, I think that I don't know. I'm just thinking about it now. Like, imagine every time you look forward in time and it's worse. What if that happened? Every time you look forward in time and something bad's happened, something's worse. Like,
But then you just stop looking forward in time.
yeah, but you'd go. I think that you would. I don't know. You would want to look ahead even further, for example, to see if things changed, or closer to see if things were okay after you made a different decision. Do you know what I mean? I think I'm now realizing the impact it could have on your mental well-being. Even if you have a lot of self-control now, I think it could be something that you just want to just quickly check. The last time I looked ahead, it was really, really bad. And now I've come back and I've told, say it was a person dying in hospital, for example. You're like, I'll kind of come back and tell them, go to the doctor, get checked. You could have something wrong with you. Now I'm going to look ahead again in time just to make sure that what I've done now has solved that. You go ahead in time. They're still dying. Oh shit. What do I do now? I've got to go back. I've got to do something else. I've got to try something else. And then you look again. And then that's 3 times with one person only in one particular situation. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine that all the time, constantly. If you had things when you look ahead and you go, I want to change that, but then you don't know if you've done enough to change it, that could drive you crazy, I reckon.
You could. I'm still going to slap
You're
that.
still going to smash that button? All right.
Doesn't change mine.
I've flipped my answer around. I'm steering clear of that button.
You had a Jessica
For
cow
sure.
or chicken situation.
Yeah. Exactly. So, yeah. So 2 for no. Me and Jess for steering clear of the button. Demi smashing that button.
I'm smashing it.
All right. That's good.
That was interesting.
It was. If you guys liked that formative episode, let us know. Let us know on Instagram or email us or whatever. But we'll continue to do something a little bit different every.
Yeah.
Daisy likes it.
Daisy likes it.
We'll continue to do something a little bit different, maybe every 10th episode.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
10th episode, or I mean,
Maybe not necessarily a push a button thing, but maybe just something a different
Yeah.
format, or maybe even have a guest
Special episode.
Have a guest episode.
guest.
I want to do a drunk episode. I feel like
Yeah.
that could be quite funny.
Could be fun. Yeah.
We'll do that on a Saturday or something.
Yeah, we should do a guest poll. We should just take some photos of like our friends and just like with no background on who they are or anything like that. Just do like an Instagram poll and like, who would you want to see as our first guest on the show?
Episode 18, I'll start the poll.
Yeah, and it's like put Daisy in there.
Everybody
She can
wants
just sit up at the table.
to, or just put her in a box or something.
Anyway, we'll do these. We'll keep doing these special episodes moving forward, I think. So we'll get some feedback, see what you guys like. I enjoyed this episode. I thought it was a good little change up, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
But back to the usual dastardly dilemmas for next
Yeah.
episode.
Back to our regular schedule as well.
Yep, once a week. keep your ears tuned and your eyes peeled. What? That's a saying. Keep
I
your eyes
know.
peeled. It's
It's
weird
just
though, isn't it?
It's
When
a
you
weird
think about
saying
it?
when you think about it. You're
Keep
like,
your eyes
peeled.
peeled. How do you? Yeah,
How
I
do you peel
don't
an
know.
eye?
I'd be interested to know where the origins of that saying came from. Keep your eyes peeled. Do you know what I read the other day? That's like apparently a myth that everyone believes. That carrots make your eyesight better.
I never thought that was ever real.
Oh, really?
No, me either.
Well,
Who's the dumb one now?
I thought that for the longest time because
Is that why you always eat carrots,
Mum
and
and
that's
Dad-
why you think you have 20/20 vision?
No, I like carrots.
2020 perfect vision.
Yes, I do have 20/20 vision. This is my year. And yes, I do.
This is my year.
This is my year.
All right.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your perfect eyesight. If everybody doesn't know, I wear glasses. Actually, in the photo that I posted of myself, I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm wearing contacts in the photos. I do wear glasses. I have really shit vision. I'm also colorblind and I can't see in 3D.
You also
This
can't
year
hear
is
from
not
one
my
ear.
year. Yeah, one ear is fucked. So
That's funny.
not my year.
Yeah. Okay, Daisy.
All
All
right,
right, we'll
okay,
wrap
we'll
things up
stop.
then. She's like, shut up already.
She wants into
Finish
the laundry.
the episode. So, all right. Well, I
Bye,
guess that's
guys.
it. Bye. We'll see you
See you
on
next
the
time.
next time.
On the next time.
We'll see you on the next time.
Leave that in.
Well, that's it for this episode, everyone. Go and check us out on Instagram at the Dilemma Academy and leave your suggestions for dilemmas you'd like us to discuss. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, or you can email us at thedilemmaacademy@gmail.com. Also, if you like the episode, why not follow us and leave a review wherever it is you listen to your podcasts. Until next time, school's out at the Dilemma Academy.